Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, got a post here from Blockade, and they say Hashgraph has partnered with Blockade to strengthen security measures across the Hedera ecosystem. This collaboration will bring Blockade's real-time threat detection to wallets, bridges and exchanges across the network, starting with a successful integration with the HBAR app. Blockade's protection includes real-time scanning for rug pulls, spam airdrops and impersonator tokens, alerts for newly deployed or behavior change tokens, detection of malicious dApps across the Hedera ecosystem, early warnings at the moment users connect to suspicious dApps, identification of threats like new drainers, front-end attacks and spoofed dApps. This extends the protection the Hedera ecosystem already receives when interacting with HBAR on blockade secured destinations like Coinbase, MetaMask and Kraken. With these capabilities, Hashgraph and Blockade are working together to stop malicious on-chain activity before users are ever at risk. Okay, real great stuff to see here. So there's a little GIF here as well you can see, and like you can see like the HBAR app here, and they're making a payment, and you can see like a little tick that says secured by Blockade. I'm not sure if that will show up. I'm not sure if they're going to do that, or if they're just doing this as like a little meme for, you know, the social media thing. But either way, this is real good stuff, because one thing that I will say about crypto technology, and I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of people do get scared about using crypto, it's so easy to lose your money. Like there's so many ways to lose your money, in terms of like, even in terms of just like doing a transfer, right? Like if you want to do a transfer from someone's wallet to another, let's just say you copied and pasted the characters, and then as you was doing it, let's just say you accidentally pressed the delete button and you didn't realize. So you've deleted a character out of the wallet address, right? If you click send, it will then just say, you know, are you sure you want to send it? But let's say you haven't realized that you've deleted a character. It doesn't then say, hey, you know, this is an incorrect address, so we can't send the funds, or it bounces back. It will just send the funds. And what will happen is the funds will just go into like a black hole. The funds are gone, basically. So if you accidentally send the wrong address, this isn't a thing of like, you know, like with a bank and you're doing a bank account. If you send it to an account that doesn't exist, it normally just bounces back and say, hey, that account doesn't exist. Like it's, you know, it's come back or whatever. That's not how it works with crypto, right? So you have got to be very careful. Then you've got, you know, the rug pulls, the scams, these drain methods that people use to try and empty your wallet and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of ways with crypto that, you know, you can lose your money. And I'll be honest with you, this is why, quick story here, this is why I missed out on Bitcoin, because when I was told about Bitcoin, I was told about Bitcoin very early on. I could literally be a millionaire right now if I'd have invested in Bitcoin at the time when I heard about it. But what it was, I was being told about like the whole paper wallet thing, and I was just like, I didn't really understand it. So I was just reading about it online. So I didn't have someone like literally explaining it to me face to face, but they're just saying, hey, you have to do it like, you know, you have to have your money on like a paper wallet. And I was like, well, what's a paper wallet? Like, I don't understand. And then they explain how you have to like write the code down on a piece of paper. And I was just like, for me, I'm very like security, you know, conscious. So when they said you know, you keep it on a piece of paper, I was like, well, that's not great for security. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not really the best way to be dealing with security. So I didn't bother getting involved. One, because I just didn't fully understand Bitcoin at the time. I can acknowledge that. And two, I was very concerned about the security aspect of it. Now, obviously, once I saw whatever happened with Bitcoin, I started to say, okay, let me look into this crypto stuff and see what's really going on. And, you know, even though you do have to do that whole thing with the you know, for a cold storage wallet, you have to have like, you know, the stuff written down on paper. I've accepted that, because if that's the price that I have to pay to potentially get life-changing wealth, then I'll do it, right? Like that's a very different, it's a very different story now when I look at it. So when you look at things that like what Blockade are doing here, this is just making the hashgraph more secure. And the thing about stuff like this, and this is what I mean when I talk about mass adoption, like this is when like these things are happening behind the scenes and you might not even be aware of it, right? So like, for example, you're just making a transfer from your, you know, your HBAR wallet over to, let's just say, MetaMask or Coinbase, for example. You might not even know that that's being protected by Blockade. But for you, you make the transfer, and it could be that like, you know, there was some kind of scam and Blockade's protected you. Do you see what I mean? Like, there might be things where like stuff's going on behind the scenes that you're not even privy to, but you're just making the transfer and it just does what it needs to do. But behind the scenes, Blockade could be vetting that transfer, making sure it's all secure, making sure it's good to go, that there's no issues, that kind of thing, right? For me, when it comes to security with any chain, like I think it's paramount, right? Because at the end of the day, like if you've got a chain that gets a lot of issues in terms of hacks and rug pulls and stuff like that, it could put people off, right? It could actually detract people from the network because they might just say, look, I've been on HBAR, I've had 3 rug pulls, I've had 2 hacks of my wallet, like I just can't deal with it no more. I'm just going to see if I can go onto another chain, or they might just give up crypto altogether. They might just say, I just can't deal with crypto. So it's that kind of thing of, we need these kinds of things in place to help with the mass adoption aspect, right? Like this kind of stuff, keeping things secure. Because again, when you think about it from a bank perspective, if things happen with a bank, you're covered, right? You're covered for a certain amount of money, so you can get it back. And this is the kind of thing that we need. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be exactly the same, but we need some kind of reliance with crypto. We need it to be more secure, because if it's still as scary as it can be, yeah, you're not going to get as many people wanting to jump in because they are going to be worried that they could lose their money. And, I get it, because let's just say you had all of your life savings in crypto on a cold storage wallet, for example, but then, you got drained and someone just drained your wallet or something like that, or, you got hacked, or you sent the funds to an incorrect address and lost it all. Like, these are very scary things, especially when you're dealing with like high volumes of money. So, it's definitely a real concern. So yeah, I think this is a great thing to see, and I think this is going to add to the security of the hash graph, which can only be a positive thing. Like that can only be a benefit. So yeah, for me, who's someone's very security conscious, like I'm very much someone who bears these kind of things in mind. I mean, for a lot of people, they probably won't even see this. But again, this is what I talk about with mass adoption. You don't always need to know what's going on behind the scenes, right? Like sometimes these things can just work for you, but you can still appreciate it because you can say, well, I've used Hedera and I've never had an issue with, my account getting drained, my wallet getting drained, or I've never been rug pulled on Hedera. However, I may have been rug pulled on this other chain or whatever, or I've been drained of my wallet on another chain. So it's that kind of thing where you might say, well, Hedera, actually, I've never had no issue security wise. That's interesting because I've had issues with other chains or whatever. So, it's that kind of thing where you might not always know exactly what's going on, but you might just appreciate the simple things of, never had a problem with Hedera, always used it, had no issues, always been security-wise fine, whatnot. Great, 2 thumbs up. So this is what I'm saying. Like, to me, I think this is all very much a big positive, and yeah, I thought I'd share this with you. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. Take care.